Hope you guys got a parachute.
Oh, and he did. Holy, he had a parachute.
Whoa!
Damn!
A lot of man grunting.
Why didn't he just shoot him? Like, let's get in a wrestling match with a pistol in my hand. You will never ever see anybody in the US military doing a combat role for any particular reason.
I love the fucking rainbow on the back. It's pretty epic.
Looks like your living room, right? Oh, okay. Well,
So it looks like they took contact from the right. They reversed out.
So that's what a flashbang looks like.
And it kind of feels like that too. These guys have more gear than 50 people would carry.
That's a good point. Yeah, they're carrying a lot.
Oh, wow. Damn.
So maybe the gamer and loving this map, it's fun, it's wild, it's crazy. Realistically speaking, they're moving really fast.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on.
This is always the most unrealistic stuff because it's just, you're not looking around, you're just running and running and running.
Is hardcore combat chaotic like this? Yeah, it is, but not all the time.
Oh.
See? Yeah, that was a headshot into his buddy.
Yeah, his buddy's dead. Oh, forward roll. There you go. Oh,
okay.
There you go. Claymore inside. I don't know about that.
Claymores make a very loud drum. It's C4, and there's a lot of stuff in the front of it, a lot of BBs and pellets, and it's a huge explosion. You just turn into pink mist.
And it says on the front of it,
point towards enemy.
Front towards enemy or whatever the hell it says. You put one of those things out and you get down flat and that thing goes off around it for, I don't even know what the kill radius behind it is.
Those numbers, yeah, but it's a big explosion.
Yeah, you will never set a claymore in the house that you're still in unless you're Kanye West and it's on the east wing and you're over in the west wing.
That was deep.
I know.
I like that. I was there.
That's my Kanye reference for the day.
It's very realistic. We're trained pretty heavily how to hold a gun and shoot from different positions on our cars, on our sides, over hoods.
When you're in any kind of urban environment, your head has to be on a swivel endlessly. That's why this is not something that you do on your own. You have to be in a team.
Back to that last screen. He had ample time to get her back around that corner, and you want to get your primary gun back up as soon as you can. So he was carrying the pistol rifle like way too long.
How comfortable would that be in a situation like this to just pick up a weapon?
I knew of two Marines that took a Humvee that they weren't supposed to and rammed into a trench in 03 in the Iraqis, and they both jumped out, started clearing with their guns, went dry on their own ammunition, started picking up enemy AKs. It's not very common, but it does happen.
If you've gotten to that point, it's gone south.
Yeah.
No way.
Looks like he's got a kitten hanging off his golden gun. We all carry golden guns.
Yeah, I mean that's issued right out of boot camp pretty much. Carry all my extra ammo around in a Pelican case.
It's very heavy Pelican case. Yeah. We'll have like pre-bundle it into like a satchel.
Speedball, have you ever heard that?
Speedball, yeah, exactly. But not a hard Pelican case that's like delicately cut out for 2 grenades and individual bullets.
Yeah, no. The real thing is, they call it a flight bag, and it's basically like a huge thing of rounds, grenades, and spare ammo that you can just go and grab. We don't carry like, hey,
a box.
Man, here's your box of individual rounds.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, thank you. That's, And I love to run and hop in my little bird, you know, start making a couple laps around the city.
Hope you guys got a parachute.
Oh, and he did. Holy he had a parachute. He's got like a hunting rifle. Yeah, it's like
Winchester.
Damn! These guys are running around endlessly. So you're at minimum 65 to 70 pounds, but then you take something in your arm or you take something in your leg. These rounds don't just go in and come out the other side like you see in the movies. I've seen rounds hit somebody in the kneecap, right below the kneecap, go all the way up and come out their shoulder.
They fragment and they just bounce and
tumble
and ride your.
Yeah.
would really like to shoot someone with a crossbow, just once. I want to put something to bed real quick. The whole confirmed kill thing. Oh, so-and-so has confirmed kills. Like, I've never recorded how many dudes I've shot, and neither is he.
And
like,
it doesn't
this
go in your
exist.
record.
It's not a f***ing record, though. He's got 137.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as confirmed kills.
There's the
Is that a
lab.
lav? Because I just got in an argument with a kid. He was saying that this light armored vehicle that the Marine Corps uses is called a lav. We call it an LAV. It's just how I've heard it. I've never once heard it called a lav.
No.
The military is very acronym heavy. We know most of them. There's a lot that I don't even know what the that means. But this kid was adamant. Oh, it's a lav. You're f***ing wrong. I'm just like.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. There's a lot of guys like us that actually play these games a lot. So you never really know who's on the other end.
Today we're going to be reacting to some clips from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Let's check it out. I'd like to know how his two long guns are attached to the outside of the bag there. Damn. Guy didn't hear him coming up the, climbing up on the steel ladder.
What's in that pack? He's got some comm gear. He's got a radio in there. That's good.
What?
He's
covering his
holding
ears?
Nice. Other guy didn't hear that.
These guys are clearly oblivious to what's going on around them.
I mean, he looks pretty cool.
Oh, and I love how you've got the long gun on your back again and he can just do that forward roll.
You don't want your muzzle touching the ground, ever. I mean, just damaging the end of it to getting, most importantly, getting debris inside. You know, you clog it up enough, you could have a pretty catastrophic malfunction. So that thing's it's your sword. Never leave it in the dirt, ever. I mean, if you do, clean it quickly.
Exactly. If there's any downtime, you're taking that time to go through your weapon, clean it, check it, triple check it.
It's your girlfriend, treat her right.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. I think every single bad guy in this has got blinders on or earplugs in to not hear any of this. I don't know.
You probably already have been heard. It's in the daytime, too. I mean, most of the stuff that we did was at night.
Yeah, 99% of the stuff is at night. Depending on how you get into the area, if you're dropped in by a helicopter, it'll leave, and then nobody moves. And listen, stop, look, listen. You're waiting for everything to go back to normal, and then you start to move, and it's absolutely quiet. Did he trip, or was that intentional? I don't quite know.
Oh, that was great. He's got a drone now. That's cool.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. It was always there. They're 100% being used right now. It's becoming way more commonplace. You know, back in the early days of the war, 03, 04, it wasn't there.
Different services like the Army and the Marine Corps now on a larger scale have little small squad-sized helicopters that they use and different things, and there's shorter range on it and stuff, and it is, you can pull it out, undo it, take off, see what's going on, and bring it back.
Thermal in the daytime.
This guy loves the forward roll. Have you ever done a forward roll in the midst of a mission?
No. Very, very Matrix / John Wick. He's rolling all over the place.
Yeah.
Nice little transition.
Yeah, those are pretty smooth.
I don't know how he's got it attached to the back. 'Cause, I mean, he's like,
yeah.
The transition, we call transition drills. Like I don't know how it's attaching. If it's like a magnet or something, I don't know. But usually it's got slings. You transition, you're throwing one to the back and you're grabbing simultaneously the other guns.
Or it's just your M4, your rifle's on the front of you and you're transitioning. You literally just let it go. You've got your sling, like you said, and it falls down and you transition to your pistol and it's super smooth.
Hey.
A lot of man grunting.
Why didn't he just shoot him? Like, let's get in a wrestling match with a pistol in my hand. You will never ever see anybody in the US military doing a combat role for any particular reason.
You would not compromise your weapons, your gear. There was comms gear too. I saw a radio in the back of that.
Yeah.
You would damage that or shit would fall out of it. You didn't have it secured. So thermals I've definitely used, especially like when there's a lot of foliage, there's a lot of green stuff in the air too, you know, like using thermals, you can really see the heat signature, either white hot or black hot. So like the heat signature is what this optic's picking up. So depending on kind of where you're at, the terrain, how hot it is, you will come off black hot or white hot. So the hottest part of your body is either gonna be black or white. And the cold stuff is gonna be opposite. It really sucks when it's like, you know, Iraq and it's 120 degrees out at night. Everything's hot, so it's kind of a
those first couple hours, this stuff doesn't work as well until you start to get that heat draw out of the ground and everything starts to cool down. That's when it's really a lot more valuable.
So right off the bat, I don't see a buddy. You know, I don't. He's by himself.
Doesn't work like that.
Doesn't really work like that. Honestly, I have nightmares of being by myself in Iraq or Afghanistan. It's the worst case scenario. So like maybe his whole team was killed and he's just trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, it's absolutely, you never see it. Again, you have the over-dramatized gameplay and the over-dramatized stuff you see in the movies. Totally unrealistic.
Moral of the story is always travel with a buddy, especially a buddy like this. For a Navy
He's a
guy,
better buddy
it's
if he
pretty
brings
good.
beer.
So, I mean, he's running all over the place. Like,
Well, he's lucky because every single person is completely unaware that he's in the area, even though basically everybody within a 2-mile radius is dead.
especially like creeping into a doorway, you kind of want to
Pie the corner, like
just a little bit to see what's in there.
Yeah, looked fun, entertaining, but not completely realistic, of course.
I think there's a PFC. Let's send the friggin' new guy.
I don't remember that part. That was pretty epic.
They're just like, we're here to kill people and chew bubble gum.
And I'm all out of gum.
Is that a war crime?
Yeah, that would be killing civilians. Yeah, that's a war crime.
Non-combatants with no weapons that are standing there.
Yeah. That's no bueno.
Look at the ammo box. It's a drum.
Yeah.
In real world, it's plastic. It's a plastic green. It looks like a AK variant magazine. There's so many things going on here that's wrong. I don't know about you. I'd hate to carry that 240 like that the entire time. Ideally, you want to be on your stomach and shooting that thing. It's
Yeah.
the best position for that weapon.
The guy that's crawling away obviously needs to just be killed. See, there you go.
That's what you get for crawling around.
Just in general, I would say this would be frowned upon by the international community.
A little bit.
Yeah. I love how they stop and just ride the escalator down.
With some mall music in the background.
So PFC Allen is integrated with this group, right? So is he just rolling through with these guys just waylaying civilians?
Yes, he is.
PFC Allen, let me give you a hint. That's not legal in any way, shape, or form. Here's a good one for you. The U.S. Air Force actually has those in our inventory. That Russian helicopter, the HIP.
It's a troop transport. You know, shooting a HIP, an aircraft in the air with it. That's a pretty badass shot if you make it happen.
Yeah. You can actually fire that thing into the ground right in front of you and it wouldn't go off. It's got to go a certain distance before it arms itself.
I love how these commies are using American weapons.
If you're an internationally known bad guy and you're making big money, I wouldn't be carrying around a goddamn AK-47, I'll tell you that. AK is a piece of shit. I want them for.
I like it. Stacking on the door. Your door, sir.
That was no message.
Hey, das vidanya, don't get any on you. Peace out.
I'm guessing that was the PFC.
PFC is like bottom of the barrel. That dude would never in a million years work undercover in any kind of operation.
And PFC is alluding to the Army or the Marine Corps. That demographic of age is usually 18 to like 21. I see why he got smoked. You know what I'm saying? He's a PFC. Joseph. He doesn't have a Russian accent. Definitely super Hollywood-like. Would probably never happen.
What exactly is blowing everything up? They're running down the street and shit is on fire everywhere.
Is that Chuck Liddell? I think it's Chuck Liddell. It looks like they're getting ready to torch this dude's kneecaps.
What they should have showed him with is a fucking hand drill. Trust me, the bad guys in Iraq, Afghanistan, a hand drill is the weapon of choice. You know what? I really wish in real life I had a heads-up display anytime there was a grenade around me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd have less bullshit embedded in my fucking hand if I had heads-up display for grenades. Okay, that's like magazine number 5. 6, 7,
Jesus Christ.
This dude's got like magazines just wrapped around his legs.
Yeah, it's not light. I mean, I had a 12 magazine chest rig, and that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You're-
Let's just say one magazine weighs 2 pounds. It's 110 degrees outside. You've got 75 to 85 pounds of gear, and you're running and gunning in an urban environment. That's the reality of the situation.
Goddamn Jason Bourne right here. Dude, where's the rest of this dude's team? Is he just solo at this point?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would hate to be in this dude's position, legit.
Yeah, when you are in an urban environment, it's absolute chaos. You can get shot from almost anywhere, and you need to be absolutely prepared, and that's one thing that comes through on this. So they do a good job with that.
Yep, that chicken. Get it.
That bird.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I legit have seen the craziest in combat. I was taking a knee by this blown up car, and there was a dog with a human Iraqi head in its mouth, and it like looked at me, and I was just like, holy shit. Like one of those moments like this is real life, and it like looked at me and growled at me. I'm like, dude, that's all yours, man. You can keep that shit.
that's all you, man. Have a good night. Legit, that's a really bad situation. I would not want to climb up out of that ladder, take in fire. You always want to be in the high ground. You always want to be looking down on your enemy and shooting at him. You don't want to be looking up because you don't have the advantage for sure.
Did they just both fall out of the window onto that car?
That's how it works, man. You always fall out of a window onto the car.
There needs to be an explosion in the background at the same time.
This is like the popcorn and candy of video games right here. It's like a fun short shooter game, and it's all entertainment. That's it. He shot a chicken, which was really cool.
That was the highlight of the mission.
Get off the X before the tide turns.
Copy, Watcher. We'll handle it.
You know it's serious when everyone's wearing schmaz.
Yeah. I always noticed too, these never have a helmet on of any type.
Yeah, helmet.
They're just like, I want to take a dome shot right now.
So these guys are walking with their eyes behind the sights the entire time. That's a no-go. This weird formation, like, that does not happen. I'd be a lot more spread out from left to right. Between the next guy, you'd have another 15, 20 feet, probably staggered.
Where you're in combat arms of any type, you're going to understand basic patrolling techniques, looking around and not flagging your buddy, and you trust your teammates to take their area responsibility. All that stuff is the most basic stuff that you learn.
Who put the f***ing light on? Goddamn boot.
That just says shoot me in the face. That's pretty bad.
You're gonna pay with push-ups later if we make it through this. Oh,
Clear.
oh. In this situation, this guy seems to be the last guy. He never once turns around and looks behind him. He's covering the 6 of the entire f***ing patrol. When he feels like some hairs on the back of his neck, like you want to look back and just make sure you're not being tracked. There's little things that Pat and I are tearing apart. Again, I love this game, but real world, there's a lot of shit going on here.
It's just like when you watch a movie and it's all for entertainment purposes. We understand that.
Echo 3-1 to Blue Viking 5. Call for fire. Stand by for target confirmation.
That's pretty quick call for fire there.
Yeah.
Or he even had eyes on target.
Yeah, when you're doing a call for fire operation, it's a very specific conversation between two people. There's a lot of lives on the line, so you do not want to screw it up.
Patrol vehicle. Contractors. Security. Good targets.
You know, they are using some terminology that's legit. Eyes on, good targets. There's definitely been some dialogue with prior mill guys, for sure.
That was pretty good. I mean, for a video game, that was pretty decent, the way they played out the airstrike.
Minus the weapons pointing into their buddies' backs again.
Again.
So they're dropping Willie Pete. It's white phosphorus, which is the real deal. It's a chemical that just burns, and it's a powder form, like these little nuggets that just are ignited at some point. The amount of heat they generate is crazy. That dude that's on fire that runs through that gate, like, that's a bad day. It's burning through your skin into your body. I mean, it melts through the floor. It melts through engine blocks. Like, it'll melt through a car.
You put it in water, it's not going to go out in water. If you want to put out white phosphorus until it completely burns itself out, the only way to smother it is to take away the oxygen. It's insanely effective as a destructive tool.
You know, they're walking into it a little ad hoc. I don't see any bounding, any covering at all. It sounds good. It sounds sexy. The breath weapons actually sound like that. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
It's throwing fragmentation. It's an M67 fragmentation grenade.
Yep.
That shrapnel's no bueno. No fireball for all you Hollywood guys.
No, yeah, it's not a f***ing explosion. It's like this heavy f***ing thump and shit goes everywhere, and it's super dangerous. That wall, those rounds are gonna be punching through that wall easy.
There's a difference between cover and concealment. Right now, he's quasi-concealed, but just looking at that wall, which looks like sheetrock, there's not a lot of cover there. So he has more concealment than he has cover. And again, real world, you're not seeing little zip ghost trailers.
Yeah, it's dragging that smoke into the room, but that's silly. It's
Not true. And there's a lot going on. It's not static. It's pretty chaotic. I dig it.
Chems may be inside. Masks up.
That was the quickest gas mask I've ever
just
seen.
that's a two-handed deal. You're not just like putting that thing up to your face.
Yeah, that's a couple-minute deal. Making sure that seal's right.
When you start dealing with like chemical and biological elements, they have specific units that'll come in there and deal with that. You call in fire and you drop some bombs or you drop ordnance on a site. Everything after that, where you're going to move into that area, is called a BDA. You're doing a bomb damage assessment. There's no f***ing protocol for sending people into a post-blast area using white phosphorus. It's just super, super dangerous. Oh, okay. Well,
So it looks like they took contact from the right. They reversed out. That's a bad day.
yeah. I like the graphics. I mean, it looks great.
I like the Russian jumpsuit. It's very, very realistic.
Very Putin.
Demon dogs, time to take this to the fan.
Yeah, this is where they don't say devil dog, they say demon dog, which is like a copyright thing. I think that's why they can't.
Is that? Since when is Devil Dog copyrighted?
The Germans during World War I nicknamed us devil dogs, which in German is Teufelhunden. So in this scene, you'll hear it.
All demon dogs, road is clear.
They say demon dog instead of devil dog. But
So stupid.
it looks 100% like Iraq. It's pretty.
Oh yeah. What's that?
It's kind of a tripwire, but
Yeah.
he's also
The most visible tripwire I've ever seen.
like 9 times out of 10 real world, you're not seeing goddamn wires across like you would like Vietnam era. Like that's some movie shit.
These guys will booby trap compounds and doors. They'll booby trap areas where they may not have been there for weeks. They're going to booby trap it just because they know eventually U.S. or coalition forces are going to come through, and they want to create as many injuries as possible.
The Taliban are, in my opinion, a far worse enemy than what we saw in Iraq. With booby traps, those guys were badass. Not only on the road for vehicles, I mean, they do crazy shit where they've watched us stack up on doors and they've buried the bomb in the wall and cover it. So you're up against the wall waiting to go into a door. You step on a fucking plate, the wall's blowing up, and plenty of dudes have died from that. It's fucked up.
It's not that simple to find these things. They're smart. They're good at what they do.
Can you disarm it?
Check. On it.
Salute to all the explosive ordnance techs out there. Like, to me, it's like the worst job. Like, and those guys sign up for that job happily. Yeah, I see bombs, I hear about an IED, I'm going the other way, to be honest with you.
No shit. He's got all his supporting elements right there in front of him.
Those were like tow missiles, man. That was a Bradley, what it looked like.
Yeah, what's the Bradley? We definitely got some joint operations going on here.
There's not a lot of times Marines and Army are teamed up together. It's usually broke down into sector. I get it, it's a game, but dude, cinematography-wise, like they did a fucking crazy job. I like how he's handed around the corner. That's a pretty real-world shit. That
How
looks
he's
pretty good.
pie in the corners.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I've used that same setup in real world. So that's an EOTech with a 3x magnifier. You can snap it behind, you can magnify it. So,
The dude just run over top of him.
yeah, that Digicam was that good.
Yeah, I know. You've got skater dude running over top of you. I like how you can still hear the freaking helos and stuff outside.
Yeah, I'm not a campaign guy personally. Multiplayer all the way, but I've played this mission. This is a good one though. Like, whoever is playing right here is doing it really well, like real world. Like he's going to every door and like he's checking. Like it's pretty realistic.
Could be an ambush. Just check them. All of them.
Yeah, I don't like this situation at all. It'd be crazy.
Clear!
Those are all combatants, like hands down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It's the thing, is you treat everybody as an active combatant until it's been absolutely proven otherwise.
I don't know the entire story if he's still in prison, but there was a news camera guy attached to a Marine unit taking fire from a mosque in Iraq. We as Marines, as Americans, looked at the mosque as like this holy, don't touch the mosque. It's like off limits under Geneva Conventions. But the bad guys don't give a shit about Geneva Conventions. Well, they kicked in the door to this mosque, and there was a bunch of injured, if not dead, Iraqis, and one of the Marines, with the camera guy behind him, shoots one of these dudes in the face. And the dude went to prison for it. So
yeah,
it's a situation. Like, they're playing on the heartstrings in this scenario. Like, black and white, if you're injured, roll them up, put some handcuffs on them, like squeeze them for intel. At this point, they're out of the fight, in my opinion. You probably shouldn't shoot them in the face, but at the same time, you're a few dudes, like you don't know who's alive, who's bad, who's got a weapon on them. Like, smoking a dude in the face is probably the safest bet.
it's tough to judge somebody on the decision that they make at that particular point in time. I'm sure that guy felt like he was doing the right thing, but I tell you what, I'm definitely not going to judge the guy. I've treated bad guys before. You have to tie these guys down. It's not like you're treating them and they're like, oh, thank you for saving my life. They don't give a shit.
In defense of those dudes, like, I get taken by the bad guys. They tie me down. They're trying to treat me. Like, I'm still going to try to break out of it and flee.
They do. They're not just hanging out letting you put a goddamn IV in them. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I'm really surprised about the graphics. The graphics are fucking really good.
Yeah, they're really good. You got a 45? I don't think anybody uses those anymore.
We did. It's still use 1911s. I think everyone's transitioned to Glock. I mean, personally, my biggest fear in combat during the height of the war was being in a situation like this, you know, as an American combatant wrapped up by the bad guys. Like, I always saved a bullet in my breast pocket with a happy face that I drew on it with a map pin. I was gonna shoot everyone that I could, but if I had to, I'm not gonna get caught, you know, and put on live TV with my head getting cut off. So that's like the worst case scenario right there. That picture right there, so what that dude looks like is probably one of the better looking American Force dudes that I've seen in any video game.
Under his flag, he's got like a little freaking IR tab. It's just a reflective thing, so if there's any light on him, they can see it. He's got Wilcox mount on his helmet, wearing a Camelback for water going around to the front that he's got access to. I mean, yeah, really legit look as far as gear and the way everything is set up.
Minus the weapon off his left shoulder there, the muzzle of that gun is touching the ground. So it's a f***ing taboo in the Marine Corps. Like, your muzzle of your weapon does not ever touch the ground unless you're dead. You keep positive control of that weapon system always. Always.
I think you're getting into video game world right there.
Other than that, like, they did a really amazing job.
Other than the other Marine running around with an AK, yeah.
However, I know stories of Marines, true stories.
Yes.
Guys have picked up AKs because they've gone dry, the weapon system's fucked up. Google Brian Shantosh and Corporal McCormick. They charged a fucking trench and they picked up enemy RPGs and AKs to take care of the bad guys. So there are true stories of Marines picking up enemy weapon systems to survive.
See that one dude with the flat top? It looked like it was a flat top AR. No sights, nothing on it.
You've got a hodgepodge of different weapon systems, like very modern and very rudimentary, so I don't know what the f***'s going on here. It's a very underfunded unit.
Don't shoot him. Get him on the ground.
I love the f***ing rainbow on the back. It's pretty epic.
It looks like your living room, right?
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, that was good graphics.
That's 100% realistic.
Yeah, 100%. The first guy in the room, boom, goes to the right. Next guy goes to the left. Another guy goes in the center, and you take your corner and you move down the wall and you clear all your targets. That was really good.
Out of any video game, that's the most realistic entry to a room I've seen. That's how you should take a room down. I mean, it's 3 fucking dudes, but it's a video game. Most dudes just blaze into a fucking room. You're not really having a threat of dying in real life, so.
It's done well. I mean, they do a good job. Everything looks really good.
Omar Suleiman, you are now in custody of Special Operations Force.
It looked like a dude in Afghanistan that we shot. In Afghanistan, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it was good.
Oh yeah, like, no, don't be sorry.
Well, did you know he had a side gig as a mocap actor?
Yeah.
Sending.
They're set, prep. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of the advantages you might find in CQB come from that SILS, stop, look, listen, smell. It's typically something that you do kind of out on, recon patrols, what have you, but also in a CQB environment, you can have a lot of extra intel. You can kind of pick up, like that guy says, like, man, I hear a lot of people working doors right now. I don't necessarily have to stop and count exactly how many doors I hear, but I know there's enough movement where multiple people are closing doors behind them or opening doors to move positions. That's something that would make me a little bit more cautious of closed doors.
Doubles closed right. We will work left.
You heard them calling out closed doors. These guys were pretty clearly instructed to clear and move instead of clear and hold. Going in, they weren't initially planning on stopping and breaching every door that they come across, but now that I can hear multiple people maybe closing doors behind them, could be a good idea for the team leaders to go ahead and move to a clear and hold where they were going to make sure they can look inside all of those closed doors.
With you left.
Yep, hold center.
Watch your
rear. Oh no.
Move. I got him.
This man just freaking pulled a knife.
Yeah, you're gonna have to restrain him.
Keep creeping with me. One down left. Keep creeping.
Good move.
Flip it. Now. Alright, I got eyes on one suspect down. I'm about to make link up. Friendly's about to emerge from a door towards the guys on the right side. Right now. Friendly, your rear. Alright, this is cleared space to your rear. Hold what you got.
Yeah, good call on that. You never want to kind of surprise your own guys. So either calling out friendly, or we always did blue.
Hold on the left side. Let's work this open space on y'all's right. I'm with you right. Stand by to flip to the left and clear dead space hard left.
Good. Clearing some dead space. These guys are good, man.
Creep, butter.
Oh, gotcha.
Flip it, and butter, take it with you. Reaching in 3, 2, 1. Breach.
Friendly's coming out on your left.
Taking it.
Female, unarmed.
We're on your right.
Non-compliant front.
Closed hallway right. Closed door at the end.
That's why it's important to positively ID those targets. It would have been a little easier for him to just say, oh, person. Then he would have killed a nurse, it looks like.
I got her. Hold that door.
Got it.
Hold long in the hallway with one, and then rear.
Yeah, I got rear. Stairs, closing it back up.
Raj, close it up.
Yeah, again, just really good communications by these guys as a team.
I'm at prep A.
He's down, taking a knee. Mag, yours.
Jeez, good breach. That one guy's tough, man.
Hold that.
Up in the front.
Oh, what you got?
Oh my god, no shoot.
That was me. I started that.
Friendly fire between two people on the same team can happen. It does happen, very unfortunately. You want to be at a level of training where it won't happen at all. Friendly fire in the sense of there was non-threats in there that you want to do your absolute best to positively ID beforehand so they don't end up getting shot. I know we were laughing, the guys in the game laughing, joking a little bit before about like, oh, in a real life scenario, not necessarily something to joke about. You want to do your absolute best to positively ID those no-shoots as well as the threats.
Taking it.
Good shotgun breach.
Hold that. I got doubles right. They are workable. This is going to trigger a massive angle. Watch your back in 3, 2, 1. Opens, taking it.
Forgive me, but it seemed like when he was stacking up on that door, the hinges would have suggested it would have come out to him, which would have made him reposition. So I don't know if that was like a developer hiccup, because the door was closed and the hinges were on the same side as him.
That closed door behind you is no factor, Snow.
Damn. Snow's in contact.
One is down. I've still got one moving left.
Good hit.
Let's collapse the whole team. We're working open door, base level. Push it.
Don't stand in the door.
And it looks like hallway
I hear
left.
movement. Shooter.
He's unarmed. He's unarmed.
He had a gun.
He definitely had a gun.
Yeah, he had a gun.
2 down right. I need a plate center.
That was a great entry into that room. He had his corner. He was taking care of it. Those left side problems were being handled by the left side. That's fantastic. He could not have done any better. See? Even got the drop on him. Beautiful.
Getting ready to swing it. Ready?
On you.
What do you mean?
Good spot to reload.
Cleared.
There are specific breaching rounds that will take out after kind of effect of shooting them, you know, like I wouldn't necessarily want to breach a door with a round that might, you know, skip off of the other metal around it or whatever the door is made out of. There's different breaching shotguns that are used all around the world by all different people. Remington shotguns like the 870 pumps are great. A lot of times you'd want them in a compact sort of package. The pump shotguns do well without having like a recoil system that go through the stock that would allow you to have more of that kind of sawed off sort of look that would be more usable for breaching. Something I like a lot about Ready or Not is the rules of engagement that they seem to be following. It's not always all military. Everybody you're gonna see is someone you need to shoot. In the military context, that's also the case. This game specifically, it seems like, you know, you have to have a weapon, you have to have intent, imminent jeopardy, all of the things that would lead a law enforcement officer to end up in a firefight with somebody. And if those requirements aren't being met, they seem to be doing everything they can to detain the suspect or hostage or whoever it might be, which I think is fantastic training for real life kind of scenario.
Go ballistic.
Breacher.
Yeah. Long door, runner.
Hold on. Down.
I thought he was getting ready to drop it. He did not.
Oh, he was not getting ready to drop that. That's a good shot.
This looks like a massive structure, so let it breathe. We're not flooding it. Fight from the threshold, then we'll make the call to flood if it's calm enough.
Good call. To clear a large space like this, I'm going to take as many people as I can get, like a squad type element where I might break them off into 2-3 different teams, especially for larger areas where I can get certain teams maybe on different parts of the large structure that we're trying to get into. In those teams, probably 4 at the least. That way you can have a designated team leader. You've got your point man, your rear security, your other man in the middle, and even the team leader filling in those roles is going to change throughout the process of trying to enter this building. You have to be aware enough of what's going on around you, and you have to be aware of all of the specific roles in the stack, because these guys have certain folks that only breach, and these guys probably have one certain guy with a radio that has multiple different frequencies programmed to where he can talk to not just the people directly around him in a team. In that aspect, you have at least 2 guns that can go 2 different directions. You have enough room to where you can have somebody post in rear security. That's one of the difficult parts about 2-man CQB, and one of the parts that's almost impossible with single-man CQB is having someone around you that has the sole responsibility of checking the rear and making sure that no one is trying to flank around and meet us from the same direction we came from.
If you scare me, you get shot twice as much.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Could you imagine ordering like a hoodie or something, and then you receive it and it's just like all taped up and there's just like a bullet hole through it because the postal service got in a gunfight? God, I wonder how all that would work.
Bypassing this guy, rip him up, please.
Got it. Left!
No, no.